Hi everyone, welcome to Who Would Win. Technically Monday, and I'm going to record tomorrow's. And we got the Death Battle prediction of tomorrow. But this comes from Dion Knight, who asked the question, or actually Dion Isaiah Knight, if I get the full name correct, who asked the question, who would win in a fight? Kenpachi Zaraki from Bleach versus Naruto Uzumaki from Naruto. um, now, a couple things happened over the last day or so that kind of delayed this, so I apologize. Normally though these days I usually get the Monday one out on Tuesday as it is, but yeah, a couple setbacks happened. I'm not going to get into it, but annoying things happening. Overall, I'm still able to do this, but I'm not getting to all the videos I wanted. Like, there's going to be no what it for last week. I'll just save that for next week, this weekend. Anyway, Kenpachi Zaraki versus Naruto. Now I've done both these guys before. I've done Kenpachi I think twice now. Naruto I know I've done once. Kenpachi's actually the easier one to go over, just rattle stuff off the top of my head. Naruto's going to take some excess stuff doing. But Kenpachi Zaraki is the captain of Squad 11, which is the combat division of the 13 Core God Squad, which is basically the Soul Reapers. They protect souls from evil souls. Protect evil souls from evil souls, collect evil good people, and all. Watch Bleach, folks. Just watch Bleach. I assume if you're clicking on this, you know who these characters are. But he is the captain of Squad 11. He is, now that Komamoro is no longer in the picture, he is the largest of the captains. I think around 6'6", something like that. And he is, first and foremost, pure, unadulterated power. This is a man who can easily lift with his bare hands without too much effort, honestly, that we saw. An individual who stood like 100 stories tall, who's at least 100 feet tall, and Gerard Valkyrie, who could continue to grow and get stronger thanks to his abilities. So here's Gerard. Let's say here's Gerard. Here's Kenpachi. Gerard steps on it, and Kenpachi's like, nope. Kenpachi has shown massive physical strength. He's also more than likely if not the most, then probably the top 3 most proficient swordsman in the entire in pretty much an entire Bleach series. Well, would I say the entire series top 3? Orhar is definitely up there. You can make an argument for Shunsui. He surpassed Unohana. I definitely top 5. We'll say top 5 swordsman in the entire series. He uses one hand almost all the time simply because he finds it more fun that way, because he enjoys fighting. It is like what he lives for, basically. So he hinders himself. He wears an eye patch to decrease his depth perception and absorb a lot of his energy. He used to wear bells in his hair, but he doesn't do that anymore. And he fights with one hand to make it a little harder on himself. That said, if he ever goes with 2 hands, that's pretty much him swinging with the power of a explosion, pretty much. Basically, he doesn't like to use techniques he acquired from other individuals like kendo, but he will in dire straits. Like if he actually thinks he's going to die, he will do that. Like I said, skilled in hand-to-hand combat, extremely strong. Like again, bank. Also, durable, and durability and endurance are off the charts through the roof. He's durable enough to tank missile explosions, gunfire with almost nothing on it, like no damage on him at all, really. He literally withstood the vacuum of space when an individual who was capable of creating anything with his imagination literally transport him into the vacuum of space. And not only did he survive that, I mean, you saw his eye, like his blood started to boil, his skin and everything like that, and he just cut through space. Just like, yeah, no, I'm still here. It tanked an explosion pretty much. After that explosion, like a point blank, a very powerful explosion, at least a few megatons worth. It was well beyond like a grenade level explosion. This was like a missile hit him kind of explosion. It was a bomb. He was definitely burnt up. He even said he didn't have some hearing in one of his ears. But he's still capable of moving, still capable of fighting to a decent degree. He just got ganged up on by a bunch of individuals, and they kind of knocked him down a bit. Again, durability, endurance off the charts, because he can take A perfect example of this is when he was fighting both Ichigo, that's a good example, and Niratora. He kept getting gashes and gash. He got a freaking hole put through him, and he kept going like it was nothing. The man tanked sword, but the man's literally tanked swords through the gut just to get a heads over on an opponent. When fighting Tozen, who cut off all his senses, he figured out not just through movement that he basically meant the sword was about to hit, he could get out of the way. But once he became in contact with the sword, he just grabbed the sword, like found you, and just did that. So he's not only extremely durable and tough, but perceptive. He is highly perceptive when it comes to combat. I mean, he's not like a genius or anything, but he's actually very insightful when he wants to be, and highly perceptive on the things to him that matters, particularly like combat things. Able to actually think of interesting little strategies on the fly sometimes. Nothing truly mind blowing, but strategies nonetheless. And of course, you can't talk about Kenpachi. We're talking about one of the biggest traits about him is that before he actually got his Zanpakuto's name and ability, his trademark was pretty much just the fact that his Ryatsu, his spiritual energy, was even by captain standards. Like let's say this is your average Shinigami right here. An average captain probably is like, and then we're talking about average captain standards. When suppressed and cut off, like we don't know how much it actually cut off, but just on his own with his eye patch on, which was designed to cut off a lot of his energy to make it harder on him, he was still average captain level, if not maybe above average, because he could take on two individuals going full out with their power with his eye patch on. When you're talking about with his eye patch off, we're talking about an individual whose power is equivalent to, megatons of dynamite and TNT. This is a guy who literally, it's like a freaking bomb goes off in the area, and everything is just when he just powers up his Ryatsu and just swings down. He can literally fire off his energy like a wave of energy. He can use it kind of like for hardening his skin. He's just monstrous when he's going all out, full power. And then you got to talk about Zanpakuto, his sword, which we're not going to get into what they are. They're swords that are connected to you. They are part of you, and they have special abilities. There you go. His blade, we learned, was called Nozarashi, which has the ability known or has the command drink. When it transforms, it goes from this long Kodachi type sword, kind of worn down, to pretty much like a giant meat cleaver / battle axe that is nothing more than pure unadulterated power. Like I said, it literally cut through space itself. It threw again Kenpachi. His sword's like double his legs. Let's say Kenpachi and the sword, and a meteorite pretty much that took up this chunk of the screen was coming down on this little curve represent, and he blew it up with a single slash. Now, there were a couple things in the series, though, that his Shikai couldn't cut. Basically, the only other time he used it was against Gerard Valkyrie, and it couldn't cut through his shield. It only nicked his sword. So there are things that his Shikai can't cut. However, we learned that he did eventually get a Bankai. And for the sake of this, we're not going to go with the whole... we're going to use Kenpachi after the 10-year time skip after that and assume that he at least gain control enough over his Bankai that he could not suffer from the, overpower blowing your arm off kind of thing. But we're not going to use his power beyond what we saw in that initial use of it. Essentially, though, his Shikai goes down to about a meat cleaver form. Like, again, here's Kenpachi. Let's say his Shikai is twice as big. It's about the size of Kenpachi. I think that's a good way to put it. It's kind of like a jagged cleaver. His skin gets red. He gets tribal tattoos. He gets horns. Essentially, he turns into like a Kishin, like an Oni. And again, he is nothing more than pure, unadulterated power. Like in terms of just pure power, I think Kenpachi might be probably the strongest character in the entire series. Just a pure power level, not abilities, not anything like that. Pure power. Because again, we're talking about a guy. Let's say I am the dude. I'm the dude. And here's Kenpachi. This guy threw a punch at Kenpachi, and Kenpachi caught it with his freaking mouth and ripped the guy's arm off at the socket. He then proceeded to just cut clean through him without a problem. His shield that he had trouble doing with cutting through before, and then just cut him straight in half from a distance. He had so much power behind his slice that he cut with no problem whatsoever, cut him in half from a distance. So Kenpachi's not invincible, though he's been beaten before, but he is a monster. Naruto Uzumaki. We're gonna use Naruto, Hokage Naruto, and to be nice, I'll still give him the Sage abilities, even though, for as far as we know, he actually, because by all accounts, Naruto's technically weaker than he is, and I've heard people complain, try to argue this before. It's like, look, technically you're right, he's stronger, but technically you're wrong, he's weaker. He hasn't, as far as I know, he didn't. As far as I can tell, he did not have access to his sixth paths form. Ergo, which is stronger than his normal Kyuubi, Ninetales chakra cloak. Ergo, not as powerful. But whatever. You want to argue that? We're going to give him that anyway. Have fun in the comments. I personally don't think he's as strong as he was in his sixth path form. When you're talking about Hokage Naruto, because as far as I know, we never saw him use that form. We saw him use Ninetales cloak form. That's different. He can use that. That's fine, because he's still on good terms with Kurama and all that. That's fine. But he never used that, and so therefore I have to label him not as strong as before. Then again, you can argue that he's had more experience using but then again, QB even said in like that brief Boruto manga panel or a brief story where Salad, what was that? That was not her name, Sasuke's daughter. Went to look for her dad. That QB even says, like, yeah, you haven't really been practicing as much, have you? So yeah, there's that too. Naruto arguably could be a little rusty, but we'll use him. We'll give him the best advantages. If we're gonna give Kenpachi the ability to not have his arm basically rip itself off because of all the power, we gotta give Naruto a little leeway too. Naruto Uzumaki, we're not going to go into his whole backstory. Anyone who knows this, anyone who's watching this probably knows the backstory of Naruto. So basically, ninja in Leaf Village, except nine-tailed fox demon sealed inside of him, was, accosted? Was that the name? A word I'm looking for? Accosted, belittle all that, but he said, I'm going to be Hokage, and I'm going to, as a Sakura, I'm in love with you. Wait a minute, no, I guess it doesn't work out. It's okay. Hey, Hinata, we good? We good. Let's make babies. All right, Hokage, we're good. Dreams come true. So first and foremost, Naruto is a ninja. So he is skilled in stealth. He's highly trained in hand-to-hand combat. Particularly later in the series, he got really good in hand-to-hand combat, knowing both just a standard brawler style plus frog style, sage style, which utilizes sage chakra. Highly proficient in his weapons, including kunai. He actually wasn't bad in the sword. That was the thing. I never actually saw the Boruto movie. I actually heard it was really good, but I did see that last fight with because they put this thing on with Sasuke, Naruto, and the bad guy, and I saw Naruto using Sasuke's sword. I'm like, dude, why did they never give Naruto a sword? Naruto looks like he's actually really good with the sword. He should have given him the sword, and he should have kept that sage cloak, by the way, they got from the frogs. He totally should have kept that, because that was a badass cloak. He really should have kept that. It's like, you introduced that to get rid of. Give him a cloak, damn it. Anyway. And frankly, he should have been wearing that as Hokage and stuff. Don't get me wrong, the one he wears is fine as Hokage, but whatever. Anywho, he's skill proficient in most forms of weaponry. He's throwing shurikens, kunai, paper bombs, and a sword if he gets his hand on it. His skill in hand-to-hand combat, he's pretty durable, honestly. His chakra reserves just on his own are monstrous. In Naruto, the last movie, when Tornari, is that what his name was? Drained most of Naruto's chakra. It actually blew a hole through the moon. So, and Screw Attack actually measured that. Now, granted, I trust Screw Attack 90% of the time, but there are times. If you've seen Ichigo vs. Naruto Death Battle, great. If not, I'm going to spoil that. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right off the bat, I don't quite agree with how you assess. I know you got to go with the defeats. Ichigo lost that fight. But the idea for me is about not just power, but how you utilize power and how power is manifested. In Ichigo's power is concentrated. That's particularly when he's Bankai. His power is concentrated down. That's why I think he's kind of the stronger of the two in that case. But anyway, I digress. Naruto still had like megatons worth of chakra. Which he utilizes for things like the Shadow Clone Jutsu, the Substitution Jutsu, the Transformation Jutsu. Shadow Clones can be used. He can create thousands upon thousands and not get tired. In fact, he can use other jutsu on top of that. We never actually saw him using anything besides that and Rasengan variants. I mean, he's got a summoning jutsu with the toads. That would not go well for the toads in this fight. Kenpachi would cut those fuckers down in an instant. Well, I mean, yes, they can use techniques, but let's not kid ourselves in this. And against this opponent, let's not kid ourselves in this case. Kenpachi would make some very large frog legs. But yeah, apart from summoning jutsu, shadow clone, transformation, and substitution, all he really has is chakra-based, different versions of the Rasengan and Cube and the Fox form, which, to be fair, in Sage form. So, I mean, let's go over. Okay, Rasengan, an orb chakra, very powerful, can crater a rock depending on how much power into it, can cause a lot of internal damage. It was when you first used it on Kabuto. Then we have the Wind Rush Sengon, which we never really see him use again because he updates it to Rasen Shuriken. The Rasen Shuriken, which he can throw in Sage mode and Fox form, which is pretty much wind chakra combined to the Rasengan to make pretty much a spinning windmill of slicing wind and death, which can damage you on this cellular level. However, that against certain opponents, it actually doesn't matter. It won't do crap. You can absorb chakra. It's not going to do crap if you're just that. Like when he used it against the third Raikage, I believe, in the final arc, even though it was technically a corpse it was fighting, that didn't hurt him enough to do anything. Even to even talk to Hachibi, Eight Tails, it's like, how'd you injure him? I think it was me that did it. No, wait, no, he injured himself. So yeah, durable enough individuals can tank that. He also did a supersized version of that at one point. He's also, thanks to 6 Sage Chakra, he's got access to a bunch of all the chakras, pretty much of the Tail Beast. So he can do Magma Release. He can do whatever the frickin' Seven Tails was. I don't know what the Seven Tails was. Like a Sparkle Release. An Ink Release, which I don't get. A Magnet Release, which is like a seal, basically. Even though someone strong enough can counteract that. I think it's a Water Release with they showed off with the an Acid Release. I remember that. A Boil Release, basically. And of course, a Tail Beast Ball Rasengan. Also, the Planetary Sengon, multiple Sengons hovering around one central one, a very mini one, giant Rasengans, and of course you have Sage Mode, which allows him perception of his environment. He uses Sage Chakra. He can sense energy, sense feelings, although he does that with Kurama more. He's got like an aura, so he can basically punch, and that's how he broke one of the pain six paths next, just and then. So that it allows it strengthens his ability, strengthens his physicality and durability. And then, of course, you go into Kyuubi mode, which basically gives him a Chakra Cove. He can move so fast that he was mistaken for the Yellow Flash, which moved at teleportation speeds. Tail Beast Ball, obviously, durability, high proficient energy and chakra use. And, of course, 6 Paths mode, which was pretty much an extended version of that. Except now you had those chakra, those truth-seeking orbs you could manipulate into, like, platforms to hover on, and just balls to attack with, weapons, so forth and so on. So, again, let's say this... if we're going to use we got to use somehow a situation with adult Naruto. So it's taking place during Boruto, and let's say Kenpachi somehow is fighting a hollow, whatever. Naruto gets involved. And, by the way, that was another thing they did. I'm like, really? In the Ichigo versus Naruto, it's like, you're really going to be... It's like, Naruto can't see... Naruto normally wouldn't be able to see Ichigo in this fight, and but he can sense him. So I was like, dude, just let him see him. Seriously, that was a stupid thing to do, Screw Attack. That was a stupid thing to do. I like Screw Attack. I really do. I enjoy them very much. I usually agree with them on about 90 to 95% of the ones they do, but sometimes they make some stupid choices. Anyway, Kenpachi's like, Kenpachi's going to be the first one in the church, and he's going to come in and just, and then, slap, and, just, and, Naruto's going to get that way, throw maybe some, kunai, Kenpachi's going, ding, oh, come on, is that all so you really going to attack me from a distance? You're going to have to do better than that. And then just swipes with pure power. Just like kind of does a shockwave gust. Just Naruto's, and then Kenpachi comes back again. Just boom, substitution, slices through a log. Naruto comes in, bunch of clones. Just shadow clone jutsu. And then, Rasengan. Kenpachi cuts through a bunch of clothes. Sengon hits Kenpachi a bit, just blasts him back a bit. But Kenpachi's more than durable enough to take a single Rasengan, and probably not even feel it very much. Is that really all you got? Come on, you gotta do better than that. And then summons a massive amount of shadow clones, and they both all just agree. Chakra cloak right off the bat, because Sage Naruto or Kage Naruto, from what I could tell, was a bit more liberal with that, seeing as he had access to it. So he's gonna go into cloak form, and right after that, they're gonna start blitzing Kenpachi with their Sengons. Kenpachi has amazing reflexes though, so he's gonna boom, slicing through a couple of them. Best you got, flexes his Ryatsu a bit, just blast a couple of them away. But now you got Naruto meditating, gather Sage chakra. So now you got Sage Kyuubi mode Naruto, which was really cool to see because we're like, yeah, combine that, make that happen. And then summons, throws a Rashuriken. Now a Rashuriken. With the Raikage, his defenses were made to. They literally explained him as a character that he was durable enough to do that. Kenpachi's never demonstrated something on that scale that he would be able to survive Rasen's Shuriken unscathed. However, Kenpachi's also still Kenpachi. So he's immediately just going to, flex his Ryatsu a bit and just, boom, just slice it off. Slice it, but he's going to get some backlash. I think he's going to get definitely some slashes from the wind. Then Naruto comes in again, just boom, smashes right into Kenpachi. But Kenpachi actually grabs him this time. And this Naruto, I'm going to imagine, is actually the real one. And then just throws him, and then gets a nice solid cut. Naruto does have a healing factor, but it's not like a Wolverine healing factor or anything like that. It takes time to actually heal wounds. Like minor cuts will heal relatively quickly, like a couple minutes. Like a serious gash, that's going to take a little bit of time to heal. But he's not going to have time to necessarily do that for simple reasons. Just, he's in a fight for his life at the moment. So I was like, ugh. It's like, Naruto, be careful. I've sensed great power. It's like, you're a bit more fun than I thought, kid. Yeah, but come on, is this really all you can do? I'm expecting more. And then all of a sudden you see these about 100 Narutos come up with like a bunch of clones. They just fire giant Rasengan. Rasengan! Giant explosion. And just like, yeah. And then Naruto's just, he's about to power down. All of a sudden, boom! That giant yellow mass of energy just comes through, and you just hear that cackling of Kenpachi, who is definitely roughed up at the moment. He just took a giant bunch of. He's got burns and stuff on, but overall he's still more than willing to go. Eye patches off, no Jirashi's on his shoulder now, full like Urashika. It's like now we're talking, kid. And then he just comes and just rushes in with a giant freaking meat cleaver axe of death, and now it's like whoa. But he still gets like a good solid, just like, whoa. So now he's just like, okay, fine. Goes full Kyuubi mode. And then, they clash. Cuts the hand off of Kyuubi a little bit. But it can regenerate because Kyuubi mode in that case is just pure chakra. And Kurama can separate himself from Naruto if need be. They demonstrate that in the last movie. Just cuts off and then, fires a tail beast bomb. Or gets ready to fire a tail beast bomb, but Kenpachi kind of nicks it. Now, I don't think... Here's the thing. I think Kenpachi would be able to cut, because he cut through a freaking meteorite of all things. He cut through space itself with his Shikai. There were, again, a couple things he couldn't cut through, mostly based on Gerard. But Kenpachi can more or less cut through anything, near anything, with his Shikai. I think he could cut through a tail beast ball, but doing that would not be smart. Unfortunately, Kenpachi, in this case, wouldn't know what the tail beast ball is, just knows his attack. And again, he just cuts right through it. Unfortunately, that's going to be painful. Just boom! However, Kenpachi has survived pretty extreme. Now, don't get me wrong. Compared to the explosion he survived with Gremmy, that tail beast ball is a lot stronger. However, Kenpachi didn't take off his eye patch in that fight. This was Kenpachi still suppressed when he fought Gremmy. We're dealing right now with Kenpachi going pretty much full power minus Bankai at the moment. So I think it's going to result more or less in the same thing that happened with Gremmy. He's going to be pretty roughed up at the moment, but he's going to be still willing to fight. And he's going to be panting and say, gotta tell you, it's been a long time since I had a fight like this. Which, by the way, real sidetrack, I did not like the guy they got to replay. What was the guy's name who voiced him? He voiced Jiraiya, too, who voiced Kenpachi originally. I love that. That was a great voice for Kenpachi. wasn't a big fan of the guy that got to replace him. I don't know if it was like a contract dispute or the guy passed away. I don't know what happened. They didn't get him back once when like the Soulbringer, not Soul, like the Zanpakuto arc and the Fullbringer arc and stuff, and the unknown Zanpakuto. They didn't bring him back for that, which really sucked. I don't know if he wasn't around or something like that, but they just didn't bring it, and I didn't like that. Whatever. Hopefully they do the animated versions of the final arc, and those get dubbed. I hope they bring the original guy back. Seriously, I hope they do. I love that voice. But anyways, all of a sudden and then by the way, we don't know the name of Kenpachi's Bankai. But I would love to think that because we found out Yajiro is Nozarashi, that because he gave Yajiro her name, it'd be Nozarashi Yajiro. That'd be kind of cool, I think. But whatever. I don't know if we'll ever truly find that out. We'll just hear him just go, again, the true version of, against you, I think I can fight with no restraint at all. Bankai! And then all of a sudden, boom, the power goes up. And Gerard even commented that while it didn't go up an extreme amount, Kenpachi's power did raise a bit in Bankai. So now you get that Oni-looking Kenpachi just, yeah, and then, they just don't have a good feeling about it. So they charge up another tail beast ball. However, Kenpachi just swipes, and remember, he cut Gerard clean in half from a distance. She cuts the tail beast ball right in the mouth, and even cuts, I wouldn't imagine it cuts straight through Kurama or anything like that, just from his pure distance, but maybe cuts his mouth a bit. The point is, as he's charging, cuts right in his mouth, and just boom, right in his face. Naruto's reeling back a bit. Now he's fighting Oni Kenpachi, who's physically, I'm just going to tell you right now, physically, I think, pure power-wise, I think he's got Naruto beat in that regard. Kyubey is theoretically endless amounts of chakra, but still, but endless by our standard, but yeah, and I'm not saying he's not saying Kenpachi is endless in comparison. Kenpachi, I think, just in terms of pure raw power, is outmatches to Kyubey, but Naruto still has an ace in the hole. Still has that double, or was it a triple thing? No, it was a double. He had a shackle and merged the two clones with Kurama, like Sage clones, super mega Rasengans. So he can do that if he gets the chance. Unfortunately, Kenpachi's not going to let him have the chance to. Let's be clear, Kenpachi's probably not going to let him have the chance to do that. So Kenpachi's now coming in, Naruto tries to get away, and then gets an arm just taken off. Wouldn't you know? It's like, not again! Except it's the other arm now. Kenpachi's coming in again. Naruto's throwing everything in him. And Kenpachi just slicing through crap at this point. Just G. And it comes down to the point, will Naruto be able to basically get like a full power blast on Kenpachi? Here's the thing. Yes, because he's probably separated from Kurama long enough to give Kurama enough time to power Tail Beast Ball. The question is, does the Tail Beast Ball kill Kenpachi in Bankai? I don't think so. I think it could be close. Here's the deal: if he catches Kenpachi off guard, I still don't think so. But Kenpachi might be like I'm just about to. If Kenpachi suddenly senses what Kurama's doing, which, let's be clear, he might be even kind of mindless in this form, but he's a mindless guy who's prone to battle. And that's something that's Kenpachi's bread and butter. And if he sees that, he might just react and slice through it again. And, again, explosion like that, it's hard to tell. Overall, I will, though, give it, I want to say Kenpachi, I really do. But the problem is Naruto plus Kurama, plus the fact they still have a couple more aces hole, and that damn substitution jutsu. That's the thing that I think kind of really kills it in many regards. Now, granted, he could probably wear Naruto down. Naruto's got his stamina for days, but Kenpachi is a freaking machine, dude. In that sense, if Kenpachi could just keep them at bay with their major attacks and just wear Naruto down eventually, yeah, he would win. It would be Kenpachi. But that damn substitution jutsu, and the fact that comparatively when I did the Ichigo versus Naruto fight, when I did my who would win on that, Ichigo was much more capable of keeping a level head. And even when he was doing like the Vassalourdes form, he was actually still more capable of reacting and level head. Kenpachi, not so much, but see, even as I'm saying that right now, I still have a clear-cut winner when I started this video. And at the moment, I still don't, because Kenpachi, when we talk about pure power and just, he was still able to react to it, or George, got your hand, just rip it off. He's still able to do that. So, it's a coin flip, honestly, for me. It really is. If I were to go the majority, and I think honestly, yeah, it's like coin flip, like 55 to 45 in this case. Because of his ability to react, I will go with Kenpachi. But comparatively with the Ichigo one, it's close. In hindsight, I think I gave Ichigo a little too much leeway, or Naruto not enough leeway. I think it's probably the latter. I didn't quite give Naruto as much credit as I should have. I still would have forgiven Ichigo the win in that fight, but it probably should have leveled that either. This one, I am going to give Kenpachi the overall win. I think he just outlasts, overpowers, particularly when we go into Bankai, Oni, Kishin, and Kenpachi, overpowers Naruto, and is able to react enough to Kyuubi that, like, if they were to split, he's able to react well enough that he could, like, counteract a hit coming from him for like a ways away, just slice it before it gets there and just blow up in the Kurama's face, and then just slice Kurama's head off, pretty much. But again, other than if that's it's tough. I go 55-45 in favor of Kenpachi. It's close in this case, man. And man, Naruto, and talking about Naruto really throughout the episode. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who to win, Star Wars, Superhero Magic, what if, anything I do on the channel, put in the comments below. Let me know. I'll do it at some point. I'll have the who would win up tomorrow. We'll probably just do it tomorrow. This week is 50 Shades Freed. Oh yeah, we gotta close out this epic trilogy of amazing, pretty vanilla sex. If we're gonna be honest, I mean, how do you do that in a series that's based off of really kinky shit? I mean, it's like this is supposed to be like really kinky and scandalous or risque, or is it just by housewife standards? Is that the case? I don't know. So yeah, and Death Battle prediction will be up tomorrow because we're going to get the new season starting tomorrow with Batman versus Black Panther. Look, if they can figure out a legitimate way for Batman to win, won't have a problem because Batman's one of my favorite characters. I love Black Panther, but I love Black Panther. But I'm telling you, I think Black Panther's taking this. So, I mean, it's just, without prep time, it just doesn't seem like a fair matchup. But who knows? We'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and see you